Christmas is upon us, and many are already deep into finding presents for their loved ones. In light of the success of Wicked at the box office, many may think the novel which inspired the musical which inspired the movie may be an excellent gift idea. However, parents are warned to think twice about that. Let's dive in. Before we get into the topic at hand, let me quickly address an error in the previous video about Wicked. The one about some mother suing Mattel because the misprint on the box directed her daughter to the homepage of porn producer Wicked Films. Based on the very first reports of this misprint from the trades, reports which stated that you had to declare that you were over 18 before you could proceed into the webpage. I assumed that had always been the case, and subsequently opined that this particular lawsuit appeared to be a frivolous one. However, as some astute commenters pointed out to me, while that declaration may have been in place by the time the industry trades picked up on the story, it wasn't there when the boxes with the misprint were first released on the market. At that time, going to the address would indeed expose you to full-on porn, so maybe the lawsuit isn't quite as frivolous as I first dismissed it as. That said, demanding at least $5 million in damages does strike me as excessive though, but as stated before, let the courts deal with that. However, anyone who thinks that would be a fair compensation for accidental porn exposure might want to take the advice of not reading the original book that Wicked is based upon. To set up this story, the movie Wicked is based on the musical of the same name, but that musical is not based on either the 1939 feature film or indeed any of the original Oz books by L. Frank Baum. Instead, Wicked is based on the fan fiction of Gregory Maguire, who has written a number of unofficial Oz books set in his subverted and reimagined version of the Oz universe. That cannot be stressed enough. These books are fan fiction and not part of Oz canon. Think of them like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It has nothing to do with the original work by Jane Austen, yet the writers are capitalizing on the Jane Austen brand to sell something else entirely. So too is it with the Wicked series of books. They're fan fiction. And possibly since their author faced some level of hardship in his life, they're all about social issues. And since they subvert L. Frank Baum's original work, this is taken to the extreme. So much so that the musical that everyone loves is actually a sanitized version of Maguire's original fan fiction. And if you wonder, yes, it follows from there that the movie Wicked is also fan fiction and not a prequel to the 1939 movie. The closest thing to an actual prequel to it remains Sam Raimi's Oz the Great and the Powerful. But now that the movie Wicked is in theaters, the fan fiction on which it is based is back on sale, with a brand new slipcover featuring the iconography of the movie. But anyone thinking that means the book is as comparatively harmless as the movie may, like those who typed in the URL from the toy box, be in for a surprise. That brings us to this story from the Daily Mail. Parents are warned not to buy original Wicked book for their children because of dark reason. A story which reads, parents are being warned not to buy the book that inspired Wicked for their children as a gift this Christmas, because it contains disturbing scenes including of rape, bestiality, and murder. BookTokers have slammed publishers for re-releasing Gregory Maguire's 1995 book using a front cover image of Cynthio Erivo and Ariana Grande, who star as Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the South, respectively. They say Maguire's original book is nothing like the musical and could see children exposed to its explicit adult themes, including Rossism, sexual assault, and ritualistic killings by grown-ups unwittingly. The re-released book, published by Headline Publishing Group in October ahead of the film's global release, shows an image of Erivo and Grande's film characters reaching to touch hands along with the strapline, "Everyone deserves the chance to fly." On TikTok, people have called the front cover misleading, saying that it suggests the book has the same PG themes as the film. One British content creator, Enchanted Nanny, told her followers, "This is a serious warning for parents of children who loved the movie Wicked. Do not buy them the book." She continued, "This is not a children's book. There are explicit scenes that are heavily detailed and very adult themes." Another, Carly A. Clements, said of the content, "In my opinion, it should be for 18+, before she detailed some of the scenes that feature in Maguire's novel, including bestiality and ritualistic murders."
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Then, the Daily Mail shows the difference between the cover of the new printing of the book and compared with the original cover, as well as the de facto content warnings we just got. Yeah, I think I agree, the new cover just might be a tad misleading. Jumping forward a bit, the story continues. In 1995, Maguire published his revisionist novel Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, in which he reimagined the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West, a green girl called Elphaba who studies at university with Glinda. It became a word-of-mouth hit, with New York-born writer Maguire, now 70, telling the BBC this year, "Every year it would sell more than the year before. It was the genuine definition of a sleeper hit." While the plot of Maguire's book is roughly the same as in director John M. Chu's 2024 film, there's X-rated scenes aplenty. For some who weren't warned in advance about the book's heavy-going content, it's already too late. On X this week, one reader wrote, "Just finished reading Wicked. I am traumatized." Another added, "This is definitely not for the faint-hearted, cause there's so many fucked up scenes. Bestiality and sexual assault was where I drew the line." Ahead of the film's release in the UK, the British Board of Film Classification issued a trigger warning for discrimination against a green-skinned woman and persecuted talking animals. The warning issued to viewers by the BBFC states, "A green-skinned woman is mocked, bullied and humiliated because of her skin color." Well, the book though obviously has even worse stuff going on, between grape and bestiality and nasty stuff like that. Exactly who is doing what to whom? I couldn't tell you, as I'm not interested in reading fan fiction. But after the whole kerfuffle with the wicked porn site on the toy boxes, you'd think someone would think twice about how to present a book that was very clearly written for an adult audience. Either way, it would appear Wicked may not be done traumatizing the young just yet. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments.